Now, on a serious note, my brothers and sisters, if you do not make a bay'at with Imam al-Zaman, this will come to you as well. This calamity will come to you as well. Do not think we are immune from this. And inshallah, with the other nights, you will see why I say we are not immune from this. And this is something I want to give you as a tip, because we learn these things as we are going through our studies and things. There are a few things that is good to learn. One of them is this, that whoever is a businessman, if you're thinking of starting up a business, or you're already a businessman, or even if you're not a businessman, make an ahd, make a pledge, make an allegiance with Imam Hussein, or make a pledge with Abul Fazl al-Abbas, that however or how much you earn in a year, you will give, let's say, 10% of it in the way of Imam Hussein or in the way of Abul Fazl al-Abbas. I knew a Sikh jeweler in Southall. The guy was a multi-millionaire. I once went to see him when I was in Southall. A friend of mine that knew him said, come, we're going to go to the shop. I said to him, what is the secret of your success? He said to me, I want to show you something. When I went into his back office, he had the picture of Abul Fazl al-Abbas on his desk. He said, when I was in India, a Shia alim once said to me that whatever you want, go to the door of Abul Fazl al-Abbas, he will not return anyone away. No, he will not turn anyone away. So he goes, when I heard this, I looked into who Abul Fazl al-Abbas was. From that day, I made a pledge that however much money I will earn, a percentage of it will go to Abul Fazl al-Abbas. If this is how they treat the non-Shias, look how they will treat you. And trust me, do this. Then inshallah next year if you see me, tell me how successful your life is. And let me tell you something, sometimes we look at these majalis of Imam Hussein and we say, should we give money in this way? Sometimes you may not have enough money. It doesn't matter how much, like I said last night, it doesn't matter how much you give, 1 penny, 1 pound, 10 pound, it doesn't matter. It is the niyat that you make that you give. When do you get this back? You not only get it back in this world, Allah says 70 times before you even leave this world, and not only in the hereafter, bighayna hisab that we said last night, but also they will return it to you at the point where you need it the most. This is how they work. I remember that there was a businessman, a very rich businessman in Yazd in Iran. One year a group of young guys wanted to set up an anjuman, a majlis. And they didn't have any money. So a few days before Muharram started, they went around to collect some money for this majlis. Salawat ala Muhammad. So they went around asking for money for this majlis. They came to this rich businessman. And he said, what do you want? They said, look, we are here to collect some money. We are starting up this year. If you could help us, we would be extremely grateful. So he said, how much do you want? So they all started looking. They were young, they didn't know. Some said, well, if we say too much, he might say no. And if we say too little, then we've missed out. So he said, look, listen, forget about telling me how much you want. Here's my checkbook. You write the amount how much you want, I will sign this check. So he gave him the pen, he gave him the checkbook. They wrote an amount, they said, we'll try our luck. They wrote an amount, they gave it back to him. It is written that he put his hand like this. He didn't look at the figure, and he just signed the check. This event passed. This businessman died. His son said to me that when my father died, on the 3rd or the 4th night after he died, I saw my father in my sleep. I said to him, Father, what is the situation like over there? He said, I will only just say to you one thing, that when we died and the 2 angels came in the grave, they brought my file towards me. Suddenly Hussein ibn Ali appeared. He took my file, Hussein ibn Ali did this, and he signed the bottom of it. see? Like I said, when Imam says Hal min Nasirin, he is not asking for your help, he is helping you. So if you give anything in the way of Hussein, you will be helped, guaranteed. May Allah strike me down if I'm telling the lie to you guys tonight. This is my yaqeen and certainty. This is why when we do the ziyarat of Shuhada'i Karbala, what do we say to them? We say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifina'ik. What does the word fina'ik means? You might have heard this. What does it mean? In the olden days, in the front of their houses, they used to have a courtyard. When they used to bring the horses and the carts to empty the goods, that courtyard was called Fina. What does that mean? That means everything that was on the back of this cart used to get emptied in this Fina. That means all the companions of Imam Hussein that were with him, they gave everything at the door of Hussein. Hallat bifina'ik. Let me give you an example of one of the companions tonight that was with Sayyid al-Shuhada. You may not have heard this one much. It is hardly ever talking about. These people are so unknown that they have not even written their names in our tradition as to who these people were. But there was a family at Karbala. There was a husband, a wife, and a son who was about 11 or 12 years old. The husband, on the morning of Ashura, he went and fought and he got killed. When they brought the news of his death to his wife, they said, your husband has been killed. She said, may all that I have be sacrificed in the way of Allah. She did not show any negative reaction whatsoever. She then said to her 11 or 12-year-old son, my son, we have only fulfilled 1/3 of the act to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So get prepared to you go and fight. So the boy came, as you know, they had to ask ijazah from Imam Hussein. No one could go until Imam gave permission. So this 12-year-old came, Imam looked at him, and Imam smiled. He said, what do you want, boy? He said, my mother said that my father has gone, I have to also go. It is written, Imam held him in his arm and he squeezed him very tightly. And he said, go back to your mother and say you are too young to fight. So the boy went back. The mother said to him that go back to Hussein and say, if I am too young, then what about Qasim? So the boy came back again. So Imam is now trying to find an excuse to turn this boy away. So he said, until your mother does not come and give me permission that I know that she is razi for you to go, you cannot go and fight if your parent does not give you permission. My youngsters, look at this point of Imam Hussein. Anything you do in your life, if your parents are not happy for you to do that, do not do it. Even if you want to go to Karbala, the ziyarat of Imam Hussein, that you know is something that has told us, Imams have told us, do whatever you can do to get to Karbala. But if your mother says to you, I don't want you to go, or your father says to you, I don't want you to go, then know if you do go to Karbala, this ziyarat will be written for you as a haram act. So here Imam Hussein is saying, go back and ask your mother to come and tell me to give permission. So the mother came and she put the armor on him and she brought him to Hussein and she said, 100% I give permission, let him go. So this boy went. It didn't take very long. The enemy grabbed the boy's head and they threw it into the tent of the mother. The mother then picked up the head of her boy. She ran out of the tent with a sword in her hand. And she said, whatever we give in the way of Allah, we do not take it back. So she threw the head of her son back into the heart of the enemy. When they saw her running towards her, someone picked up an arrow and shot it towards her. She fell on the floor. Hazrat Zainab came. She took the head of this woman and she placed it on her lap. the woman was still alive, breathing her last words. She then says this to Hazrat Zainab: have we fulfilled our act to Hussein? Are you pleased with us? In this way, if you recite Dua Ahd for 40 mornings, then yes, 100% yaqeen, you will be in the companions of Imam al-Salam. Inshallah. A sister tonight came to Iran to visit her brother who was in Mashhad. When the ladies of Qom heard that the sister of Imam Reza is coming to their town, they all went and brought flowers, and they brought sweets, and they brought sheep to kill on the path of the sister of Imam Reza as a sacrifice. They welcomed her, they treated her with the utmost respect. Why? Because she was the sister of their Imam. However, I know of a sister who was also the sister of an Imam. But everywhere they took her, after the events of Ashura, how was she greeted? She was either greeted with people throwing stones at her. She was either greeted with people throwing ashes on her. She was either greeted with people cursing her and her father. They would make fun of her. They would jeer her. I don't know if I can say this, but do you know that they took the sister of Imam, the daughter of Imam, two sisters of Imam, to a bazaar where they used to buy and sell servants? That when they brought Zainab al-Kubra and Kulsum and Sakina al-Kubra into this bazaar, a man came up to one of the soldiers and he said, what is the price for these women? I will buy them. They will make good slaves. Ya Allah, Ya Allah. On the 1st or 2nd of Muharram, when they brought Zainab al-Kubra to Karbala, every time she wanted to get off from the camel, Hazrat Ali and Akbar would come. He would put his knee up on the ground as a step for Hazrat Zainab to put her feet on his knee so that she could come down from the camel. Hazrat Abbas would come and hold the stirrup of the camel. He would hold the head of the camel so the camel would not move. With the utmost respect, they would bring Zainab al-Kubra down from the camel. Allahu Akbar. On the 11th of Muharram, Zainab al-Kubra now wants to leave Karbala. She has got all the children on the camels. She has put Imam al-Sajjad on the camel herself. She was then left with Kulsum. Hazrat Zainab said to Kulsum, now it is your turn to get onto the camel. So Hazrat Zainab puts Kulsum on the camel. Now it is left for Zainab to get on the camel. Zainab is stood there and there are 5,000 enemy soldiers watching her. How is Zainab gonna get onto this camel? This is why when Zainab turns towards the Shuhada and she says, oh Akbar, get up, your auntie wants to leave. Oh Abbas, get up, your sister wants to leave. Oh Hussein, look how they are making Zainab leave. Everyone is now watching. They are ready to make fun of Zainab. They are looking to see how will Zainab get onto this camel. But they looked and they saw Zainab did not get onto the camel. Instead she ran towards the Qatlagar. She ran towards this body. She picked up this body that was shredded, that was it was torn down, it was dismembered, it did not have a head, it was trampled on. She picked up this body, she held it in her arm, and she turned towards Rasulullah, and she said, Ya Rasulullah, Sallu alayka Malikul Sama, Hada Husaynuka, Murammadun Bittama. This is your Hussein. He is drowned in his own blood. Maslubat al-Imamat al-Rada. He has not got his turban on his head. He has not got any clothes on his body. Then she said this word, Ya Rasulallah, Hada Husaynuka, Muqatta'ul Ra's min al-Qafa. This is your Hussein, that they have cut his head off from the back of the neck. Allah la'natullahi ala al-qawm al-zalimin. فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.